Judge Napolitano was on with Megyn Kelly last night, and he actually had some interesting things to say about the torture report.
Democrats in the Senate will release hundreds of pages of controversial, previously classified CIA information. And nearly everyone in the government, the military, and the intel community say this will put American lives at risk. So the question tonight, why are they doing it? You think this is a good thing?
Well, I'm sorry that the report is written, and I'm sorry what's in it. But in a democracy, the American public has the right to know what has been done in their name, especially when they've been misled about it. The American public is also entitled to know that the laws that govern the rest of us also govern the government.
They're entitled to know even if it's going to endanger the lives of the intel community and those operatives who are still working on our behalf right now.
The report is not going to endanger lives. What
yes,
the people in the report did is what is going to endanger lives, and what they did.
That's splitting hairs.
I got a lot of things. First of all, God bless Andrew Napolitano. I mean, you know, I saw him this week on Jon Stewart, and I thought, wow, that didn't sound crazy. He's got a book out. He does maybe seem like he's an equal opportunity, that his anger is directed mostly at sort of government institutions that mislead and not at one party. And he's 100% right. Everything about it is 100% right. And Megyn Kelly, who opens with, you know, nearly everyone in the government, which she's so, because she loves, she's always, because in Fox News, they're always praising the government. They're always praising the government at Fox News. And so here
they want it small so they can praise it.
Right. They want it small so it's easier to praise everyone.
Yeah.
And then she says right at the end of that little clip before she starts, so the question is, why do it? And never for a second makes any attempt to answer that or suggest or answer why it will put lives at risk. That question in this whole conversation will never get suggested. What specifically is it on page 378 that's going to put Jimmy Dore, who's stationed in Kabul, at some risk? Because there, of course, there is no real answer to that.
Right, so she seems to be implying that somehow they're going to blow the cover for somebody that's undercover, right? But that has nothing to do with this. But I think that's what she's trying to, I think she's trying to conflate issues.
You know what doesn't put American lives at risk? Non-stop, continuous bombing for 14 years. That doesn't piss off anybody. You know what pisses off the Al-Qaeda and the ISIS is if you release a report that tells people what you've been doing. Not what you've been doing. It's just if you tell people what they've been doing. By the way, they know what you've been doing. Everybody knows what we've been doing, except us.
Well, that's the irony of her position. Everyone knows this stuff. But
it was a little twofold. It was saying first that some people's identity would be released. Valerie Plame. And then there was also, they're saying that it's going to piss off people overseas so much. If you're working in hot spots, they're going to be like, oh, I see the details of what these American interrogators did to prisoners, and it's going to piss them off, and they're going to want to come and kill some Americans.
That's a great point.
But there's the thing. They wouldn't be in that danger if the details didn't exist.
But let's examine the actual scenario that JR suggested, because it is exactly what Megyn Kelly's suggestion is that there is a group of 19 to 27-year-olds in a small village in Waziristan, right? And they're thinking, I got a nice job, I'm providing for my family, and I've spent the last, decade or so considering whether I want to risk my life and fight the infidels. And my parents have been telling me that the CIA has been torturing me. All my friends have. Every single paper that I've ever read in the region has. The internet has. My imam has, right? Every religious figure that I'm associated with has been saying this. Every other country in the world's been saying this. But I haven't decided yet whether I give up my life to fight the infidels. I've been waiting for the United States Senate intelligence report.
Right.
And then now it comes out and you're like, oh, okay, now I go fight. It is absurd. It is inconceivable that has happened. That has not happened to one person. Not one person will take up arms against the United States because of this report. None. Zero. Zero, zero, zero. They all fucking know.
You know what? We're not as dramatic as Fox News, but we do have a mashup of what Megyn Kelly has been saying about torture.
Is it news that there was an enhanced interrogation program that we used, that we waterboarded 3 people? Is that news still? Do whatever it takes to prevent another 9/11. Once Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's will was broken, he was one of the 3 who was waterboarded. Right. He generated more than 2,000 intelligence reports, some of which are still being drawn on today. Undercover CIA officers are fearful Is it worth risking the lives of these Americans? People are going to get killed.
No. If what they did...
I'm sure that's going to come as a big comfort to the families of the dead analysts. To endanger the lives of people because of that raises serious questions. And now we're going to hang them out there to dry, endangering their lives.
Dianne Feinstein, Senator Feinstein, is the chairwoman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Theoretically, it is her committee which authorized this.
Why does she get the power to effectively order the executions of people? But you don't put American lives in danger for that reason. If she's ticked off that they spied on her, she needs to take it up with her therapist.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
There's a lot there. Ben, I'm guessing you don't agree with her.
If anybody needs therapy in that situation, it would be the head of the Senate Intelligence Committee, not Megyn Kelly, who can't even grasp a fact that's being jammed in her face. Maybe we should hold her head underwater until she understands this.
I don't think there'd be 40. I don't think there'd be. It's just. I don't know why we can't give her a what was it called?
Rectal rehydration.
Oh, rectal rehydration. Yeah. I think, does she think that 4,500 Americans died in Iraq because we released too many reports? Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, I guess, invading a country illegally under false pretenses, killing their people, ordering war crimes to cover it up, stealing their resources, that doesn't piss people off.
Right.
What does is a report from that's completely redacted, by the way.
Right.
Propping up a completely non-representative government.
Yes. By the way, not only are the people's names redacted, but if the person had an alias, they redacted the person's alias. And then if that person had a second alias, they redacted the second alias. So everything is redacted. So that's, again, this is trying to not focus on the report. They want to focus on something else. Can we focus on what this will do? Yeah, let's focus on that. Let's focus on what the repercussions of the report. No, let's focus on what the government did in our name.
Well, I'll give Megyn Kelly credit for one thing. She almost made a clear point with Dianne Feinstein, I think. Because didn't Dianne Feinstein authorize a lot of this and then release it? So she's getting a lot of credit today, right?
Feinstein didn't authorize this. You could take this. You could take the United States Senate Intelligence Committee and the House Intelligence Committee and say that they didn't stand up to this enough. No question. They abdicated their responsibility.
Right.
By the way, they were also
Well, that's what I'm saying. She knew about it, and then she also released it. So today she's looking like she's...
Yeah, but I mean, you're blaming the 38th man on the totem pole here. And the focus... Don't focus on the United States Senate. They didn't torture people. They didn't order people tortured. They probably, I'm going to guess they wouldn't have done it. But the weird thing is I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. But the fact is the Senate and the House Intelligence Committee were lied to consistently. The administration was lied to. These guys lied about it. They lied to it because they were torturing people and it's a crime. So of course they lied about it. But now we know. And we've known for some time. So her point about Dianne Feinstein is actually more related to Dianne Feinstein being irritated that she was spied on. Right. And that this is some sort of retribution. Again, but that's just, I mean, that's misdirection. The important thing is, do you think the United States people should have seen this report?
Right, and of course the answer is yes.
Yeah, well then why then talking about what Dianne Feinstein's motivations are seems silly when it's not just her motivations, it was the motivations of the majority of the Senate, and by the way, the majority of all professional interrogators. And Megyn Kelly's nonsense there at the beginning that everyone is against this, that's just totally made up. Everyone is not against this, not in any way.